Hello chess friends and lovers of chess. In this video, I'm going to focus on two variations connected to the Urusov Gambit. The Urusov Gambit is connected to the bishop opening. Bishop opening starts with pawn to e4 as white, black plays e5. Bishop to c4, a logical move that develops the bishop to an active square that places attention towards the diagonal to the f7 pawn. Black naturally plays knight to f6, attacking this weak pawn in the center. It is clear the pawn is undefended, so an idea like defending the pawn with pawn to d3, knight to c3 will come up. However, because we want to surprise our opponent with this Urusov Gambit weapon, we're going to play d4. If opponent takes on d4, then knight to f3. If d5, going for the center, pawn takes on d5, bishop to b4 check. These are proving first move in this variation from move 1 to 5 that may likely occur while playing this Urusov Gambit. Black tries to throw white off balance. Since we are prepared at playing as white, what we need to do is to play c3, because going with other moves will just allow exchanges around d2 and the game can continue softly. To unleash what we have in mind against black, c3 is a good continuation. If pawn takes on c3 right away, then we can now unleash this double attack with queen to a4 check. Only one move saves the king from being checked and defends the bishop. So let's look at this. If we go with bishop blocking, then queen takes is valid. So knight to c6 is a continuation that black would love to employ in this situation. It will be a mistake if white takes this knight right away because he falls into trouble after pawn takes. This is the check from the bishop to the king. If queen takes, then the queen comes into the game back. Instead of taking the knight right away, let's recapture this pawn instead first. If black goes for knight taking that pawn, thinking bishop will take, let's just take this bishop with the pawn, giving room for queen to come to f6 to attack the rook here. That rook is helpless right away. So let's just take this. If queen takes, take this knight, pawn takes, queen takes the pawn, we check to the king. If king moves, then we can take this rook. Queen might end up taking this knight in this position. The best response is to castle, keep the king safe, develop the rook. If black is unprepared, there can be a discovered attack that might pick up this queen in the future. This is one variation in the Urusov Gambit. In the second variation, there is a slight change in the moves. After e4, e5, bishop to c4, knight to f6. After d4, in the first variation, we saw pawn taking. After knight to f3, which was connected to the first variation, we are going to see something different where knight takes this pawn instead. If you remember the first variation, we continued with pawn going into the center. In this case, let's stay with knight takes the pawn on e4. Black has a lot of nerves taking that pawn. Well, how do we punish this move? Let's start with queen takes the pawn on d4 first, attacking that knight. If knight back to f6, we develop the bishop to g5. This move pins the knight to the queen. One of the most played logical reply here is bringing the bishop to e7 to fend the knight and create room so that the king can be castled to the short side. Since you have seen this setup from here in the white perspective, the idea is clear that we want to castle the long side. So bringing the knight out would make sense. If black castles short side, white should castle long side. After h6, attacking that bishop, black just played a move that gives us a sign that he is unaware of the devices with this second variation of the Urusov Gambit. Let's not take the bishop away. First of all, let's put the queen somewhere here. If d6, then bishop takes the pawn on h6. If pawn takes, queen takes on h6. This knight is coming. This bishop is coming. How do we continue from here? If knight to h7, then h4. If knight c6, then bishop to d3. The threat is now clear. We want to make checkmate with the help of this bishop on this diagonal. After f5, we just throw knight to g5. Black can resign from here. I believe you've enjoyed this video. If you have any comment and observation, kindly drop in the comment section. Have a nice day.